Hey, morning, it's Rich here. Just a little video for you. So, excuse me. If you watch my other guitar videos, which if you did, I appreciate, you'll know that I've been fiddling around with guitars for ages. I'm just recently sort of committed to some lessons again and trying to make things work. I had a Harley Benton SC Custom 2, which I reviewed recently, and I've sold it. I wasn't keen on the tone knob not being very effective. I wasn't keen on the fretboard being quite so flat, which made it difficult for me, my little baby hands, to bar chord down here. And yeah, the single coil kind of noise, just not for me, really. I'm not saying it's not a good guitar for the money if you're into that sort of thing. So anyway, I sold it, and I bought guitar number 71, which is ridiculous, I know. But what I've got here, I'm really surprised with, and the point of this video really, I think, is to shop around a bit, particularly if you're buying a budget guitar, because there are some real gems out there. Now this is a Squire Bullet, but it's a 2011 Squire Bullet. Now I've had 6 Squire Bullet Strats from 2018 to 2020, so I've had, yeah, lots of new ones. I've had 2 Affinities, 3 Standards. I had a Mexican Standard, a white one. I like white Strats with a Pal Ferro board. I had a limited edition FSR Mexican Strat Lone Star, which is a silver one with a humbucker and a bridge and the S1 switch. And I had a Mexican black one that was just an HH. So I've had lots of different ones, but this has really surprised me. Now, the lighting here is not brilliant, so it's going to be difficult to pick this up. But apart from the tones, which I'll go through a little bit in a minute, just look how dark this fretboard is. It's a rosewood, so all the new ones are Indian laurel. I'm really not a fan of the Indian laurel. It always looks really dry. The grain's not as nice. It's just not a patch on rosewood for me. This particular one is super dark. It's really, really nice. Now the previous guy as well has polished up the fret. There are no sharp fret ends at all. And the back of this neck also, you just about sees it. It's not glossy by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just got a tiny sheen on it. I'm wondering whether he's maybe lemon oiled it. But it feels really, really nice. The thing I like probably the most about this is the colour. Now this camera and the lighting in here won't pick this up quite well enough, but this is like a vintage blonde or vintage white. You can't get that in the current Squire lineup. They do polar white and Arctic white. It's closer to the buttercream colour that you get in the Player series than it is anything else, but it's absolutely stunning. The knobs, they're slightly aged, and I think they're probably slightly aged because it is a 10-year-old guitar rather than them being aged knobs, which is also nice. It's been hard-tailed, which is probably no bad thing on a Bullet of any description really. I don't think the vibrato system was really very good on them. Look at the action. Can you see that? I mean, it's so low. All the frets are perfectly level. There's a tiny bit of buzz up by the nut, but can you see there's one tuner here? It's sticking up. It's not quite, that's probably the only thing I'd replace, or will replace actually. So I'm gonna keep this guitar. I really, really like it. On the back, Squire plate, Squire by Fender. They don't have that anymore, they're just plain. And of course this is an HSS model as well. I was always a bit, generally speaking, loath. I just like the look of the more traditional 3 singles on a Strat. But you know, have a listen to this in a second. It's absolutely amazing. £95 this cost me. So it's actually cost a bit less than the current Bullet. I appreciate it's a second hand, but what a guitar for the money. I mean, like I say, I've had loads of Strats, and this really, I feel like this really stacks up against any of them. Any of them's a bit strong. The Lone Star was quite something, I have to say. But it's just it fits the bill. I'm really, really pleased with it. It's got a 40, well, I've measured the body, the thickness of the body, it seems about 40, 41. So it's not quite a full thickness body as you'd probably expect. But yeah, so I mean, that Harley Benton, yeah, nice. And I appreciate this is a totally different thing, but this is just, I don't know, for me being liking vintage kind of coloured strats and strats generally, well, just a brilliant value for money. So I think shop around if you're on a budget. Yeah, I really wouldn't just go diving straight into the new bullets now based on what I've experienced with this. Oh, that's a little vibration. Anyway, I'm just plug it in and just go quickly through a few tones, just so you can see, or hear rather, how good this is for a budget guitar. I've got my Black Star V2. It's on the clean channel. Oh, and the other thing is as well, the tone knobs, they work really, really well. On that Harley Benton with the tone knob was like another. It's more like another volume, really. If you wanted the tone to work, you had to really crank up the volume, and the tone was a bit just on or off. But on this, let me turn it up a bit so you can hear it. Hold on. Turn it a bit louder. Put that to there. There. So we're on clean. So this is neck pickup volume, and this is, you can hear. Yeah, tone works perfectly. Does exactly what it should do. It just sounds lovely. And the other thing as well, for a bolt-on neck with I don't know what the body is actually in this. If anyone knows, I'll be interested, whether it's basswood or poplar, don't know. But it's still, it sustains pretty well too. I mean, that's, no, just true. Don't you think? It's not bad really, you know. It's got Ernie Ball 10s on this. So I won't go through all the tones because we all know what they kind of sound like. But that's the neck. I think it's nice. But the thing that really surprised me. So I've got the volume on the guitar on, what's this, about 7. So neck, bridge, still on the clean channel. So I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit so I don't really annoy the neighbours, and put it on the crunchy channel. Oh, just take that off. How meaty is that for a cheap Strat? Pickup heights, well, you can see in relation to the strings, fairly moderately high. But anyway, let's put this back to a clean. I'm a clean kind of boy. Yeah. So my point is, middle position is nice, so a jangly middle position. Just lovely. So honestly, if you're on a budget, have a shop around. And I'll just tell you one thing about this versus a Harley Benton Strat, by the way. Now, Harley Bentons, I've had 15 of them now, of various different types. The Strats, for me, are the worst. It's not including the Fusion series, but all the way up to the Swamp Ash one, the Paisley ones, so the ST70, ST20, ST30, all of the ones that go up to around about £150 UK sterling cash. I just don't think they're great at all. They've all got the 13 3/4 inch radius neck, so really flat, which feels nothing like this. I mean, like I say, I'm little hands and I can just about bar it down here okay. It's early morning, I'm half asleep still. Really very easy this is to bar. Those Harley Bentons just much more difficult. They're fairly chunky and just so wide here. Now you get your thumb over the top as well. Oh. Yeah, and I think they don't stay in tune all that well. Yeah, this is the Harley Benton Strats. I'm just not convinced by them at all. I think Harley Benton do much better with their Les Pauls for sure, and the PRS type guitars, and obviously the Fusion series is decent, although it does cost a lot more money. So, quick takeaway, I'm doing this really for myself. I love this. I love the colour. I love the sound. It's got all the sounds. That bridge. Woo! Look at that. That's just from awesome sound, lovely feel, cost no money at all. I'm going to replace the tuners, so there's something a little bit better on that. What about this nut? Look, it's got this brownie coloured nut. I don't think that's the original. I'm not sure what that is, but I've got a funny feeling that might not be a plastic nut. It might be something a bit better. Don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to upgrade it just a touch, and it's a keeper. It's a beauty. So have a shop around. If you're on a real budget and you're going bullet, based on this versus the 6 new bullets I've had, don't go for a new one, have a look for an older one. It says it's 2011. And don't be afraid to go for the humbucker version, because see the pickups in the at the back, usually the single coil ones, aren't that usable anyway, are they? They're really like ice picky and kind of shrill and but at least this is a usable sound. And if I put the switch so it's a single and the rear as well. That's a usable sound. Right, anyway, that's enough waffle. Love this guitar. If you're going affordable, stroke cheap, £95 this cost me. Have a shop around, get yourself a used bullet. 2011 this is, made in China. Okay, cheers guys, catch you soon.